Right, first thing I need to do is indicate this in here. So I'll get the indicator set up. I don't want to make the same mistake as I made on the bearing caps with the indicator. The y-axis and go in 3mm. Right, that's 3mm, so I can now zero the Y again because I'm centre of the thing, and then I've got 3 inches there. So I change my thing to Imperial and go 1.5 inches, so that's going to be 1/500. Yep, spot on. Right, I will now zero the DRO again, centre of there. Right, that's the 2 inside faces done. So now I've got to go from the centre. 1611 should put me the outside face of the cutter on this face. That's 1611 this way on the Y now. Right, we should have 500 there and 500 there, and we've got 497 and 496. I'm guessing it's because the 12mm cutter I had in here isn't cutting exactly 12mm, so it's cutting slightly less. So anyway, doesn't matter. That's fine. Yep, they line up with that. That's fine. Not all of this face is cleaned up, but there's enough there. I can't clean it right down to there because the casting is just not very good. So anyway, that's that done. Let's get that out, show you that. So we're done with that on there for the time being. Got these machined off, so they're down to dimension. The bearing caps will fit on now, so what I've got to do now is make a fixture up to stand it upright like that so I can face this off. Right, I've got the angle plate set up now. Just got to edge find it so I can set up my datum. Right, if I go 3mm this way now on the X, zero that out, we're bang on the edge now, so the centre of any tool I use now for this hole in here will be bang on the edge. But that's at an angle. That's at an angle, so I need to do something there really, don't I? Right, what I've got is a bit of I don't know what it is, plastic of some sort, something like that anyway. Just going to put that on there. Put that on. Like that. And then should be able to tighten that down. What I'll do is I'll face it off first, and then we'll start looking at the hole. Let's get it faced off first. What I'm going to do now is just face this side off, clean this end up to get the dimension there. In fact, I'll clean that end up first. Right, what I need to do now, I've got my datum here. I need to just find the centre this way in the y-axis, and then I can start boring the hole out, ready to accept the water jacket which goes on there. This will be a nice project, this water jacket, once we get round to that. Once we get it trued up. Anyway, let's see if we can find that centre point and then mark off where we need to drill. Right, what I need to drill out is 1 inch and 7/16. This is where the water jacket mounts onto the base plate, and this is the cylinder liner, which is 1 inch and 7/16. That passes through the water jacket just beyond that bulkhead for the water jacket on the base. So right, let's get back over to the mill and get that set up. Right, I'm in position. I'm going to try cutting the bulk of it out with this hole saw, and then I'll finish it off with a boring bar, because I haven't got anything that's anywhere near big enough. The biggest drill bit I've got is 16mm, and to come from 16mm out to almost 1.5 inches will take me forever. So I'm going to try this, and hopefully it won't disrupt the setup. Right, what I've done there is I've put a couple of 1, 2, 3 blocks there to try and stop any movement that way, and we'll see how that works out. Right, that looks like that might have been a success. Do a quick measure. Yep, Still got a little bit to go there to get to 1 7/8. Perfect. Right, got the boring head set up now. I'm going to get this bored out to 1 7/8. $14.38 I need. I got 14.39, so that's perfect. Right, that's finished now. As I film this, it's actually Christmas Eve. Not quite sure when you get to see it, but it's Christmas Eve, and I'm going to call it a day now till after Christmas. When I come back after Christmas, which will be in this video, with the help of my little time machine, and I'll be boring out the bearing holes for the bearing thingies. Anyway, yeah, them. Yeah, I need a break. Right, okay, see you after Christmas, which will be in a few seconds time. Right, with the use of my time machine and the editing software, well, it's mostly the editing software. In fact, it's all of the editing software. I don't have a time machine yet, but I am working on it. So anyway, over the Christmas break, I got an email. I didn't get an email. I got a message, a comment from one of my viewers, which suggested that my health and safety sort of observation wasn't really very good. But in fact, what all he pointed out was the gloves I was using on the saw are not very safe, and also the cuffs on my warm jacket are not very safe. And of course, I have to agree with him. And I have reviewed that and taken note, and I think it's something we can all learn from. I think the workshop safety tends to get a bit slack when you're in your little garage or your shed or whatever, but he did make a valid point, and it was well received. So anyway, you know, what you do in your workshop is entirely up to you. A little comment that he made, which I believe was passed down to him from his father, was it's particularly poignant this time of year when it's cold in the workshop and tempting to put a big jacket on. And the comment was that, which was passed down by his father, was that it's better to have cold arms than no arms, and that sort of hit home with me. And I have reviewed the clothing I wear, and also my safety techniques from then on. So anyway, everybody keep safe, and Happy New Year, as it's the time now, and back to the model. So, got this cut out now for the correct dimension. Well, I hope it's the correct dimension. I don't know, it's the little bore gauges, I don't know, I'm not sure about them. I mean, I don't get on very well with them. I'm sure they're okay, but you only need one slight tip and you get a false measurement. So I'm hoping this hole is the right size, because I'm never going to get this set up. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a blank up. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a blank up. I'm going to go over to the lathe, turn this down to the 1 7/16 that it should be, and see if it fits through, to make sure that I've got this hole spot on before I break down the setup. So let's get over to the lathe. 20, 25, 30. That's my test block. I'm going to just take that over now and try it in the hole. So see you over at the mill. Alright, let's give it a little test. I thought that snagged up for a minute, but anyway. Yep, that's a good fit. I didn't want that too tight, but that's good. It's not a press fit, but it's a loose fit, so good. I can keep this now and use it as a gauge when I'm boring the cylinder liner out. Right, I've got nothing else to do on this end at the moment, so I can now take part of the setup down. I want to keep the plate in position, clean all this up, and then I want to just go over to the surface plate, and now I've got this milled off, I can get a rough measurement on the bearing caps to see where they're going to come. I might need to just blend them down a little bit more, but anyway, I'm going to go over to the surface plate and have a look at that once I break this down. These are only approximate measurements. The final measurements for the bore will come from the faceplate, which I've set up as my datum, and the DRO will find the exact position, but this will get us somewhere near for now. Right, what I'm going to do now is just put some witness marks on here so I can see how much more I've got to take off of here. Just scribe them on. Same on that side. Also, I've got to come back exactly 4 inches from there. Right, I can now see where the intersection line is coming, and it's coming quite a way down here. Right, I've now got the intersection lines there, which is 4 inches from this face and 1 3/8 up, which, yeah, you can see them there, which means that the bearing blocks, once I mill down to that point, bearing blocks are going to sit there, and that will be center line of the bearing bore, or the crank bore, or whatever way you want to look at it. So I'm going to get this set up in the vise. I'm leaving my fixture plate on the mill because that's going to sit in there. I know that's out of focus, but that's where it's going to sit. So anyway, I'll get these set up in the vise and then milled down. Right, I've milled these down now. Just got a little bit of cleaning up to do here with a file, which is no problem, of course. I'll just sort of tidy that up. And the end caps go on there, or the bearing caps I should say. You'll notice these bearing caps, I've offset them slightly to have a bigger gap on this side so that they go like that, because otherwise I've seen in the manual, I think it was, about these oilers touch the balance weights on the crankshaft, so I've left the oilers over very slightly in an attempt to get them to clear. So anyway, I've got to mark some center marks on these. I can then position them on there, get them in position, get them drilled, tapped and bolted on, which will be the next little piece. That's all, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. I would also appreciate it if you would click the subscribe button, because that will enable me to grow the channel so that I can keep making these videos. Please leave a comment or a question. I do read all of the comments and reply to as many as I can. Thanks for watching.